load's hot.
Hey, 30-06 John here, and today we're going to be reloading for the 450 Marlin. As my last video, I was shooting my 400 grain bear loads. These were going about 1771 average feet per second for a 405 grain Remington jacketed soft point. And these other loads here, these 400 grain Barnes Busters were going just at 1800. Today I'm going to try a new powder and see if I could get those going a little bit faster. The powder I'm going to be using today is Alliant Power Pro 1200R. It says it's good for 223, but looking at the Spear loading manual, it shows that I could get very good, better velocities with it than with some other powder. In looking at the Spear load data, they are using a 400 grain bullet. We're going to be using a 405 grain Remington bullet, very similar, using Alliant Power Pro 1200R Hornady brass CCI 200 primers, starting at 50 grains, ending a max load of 53.6 grains of powder. They're seeing a velocity of 22,130 feet per second. This is from a 24-inch barrel. I'm shooting it out of an 18.5-inch barrel. I should be seeing probably 150, 200 feet per second less. But if that's true, then that's much faster than what I'm seeing now at about 1,800 feet per second with my existing loads. All right, let's get started here. No special secret on reloading a lever action rifle cases. You do have a couple things to worry about. Today I'm going to be using this set of Hornady 450 Marlin reloading dies. The first die we want to get in is our resizing die. Once again, you crank it in and you run up your cam on your press to make sure it's touching. This is preset already. Looks good. I am using my Lee press C clamp to this work table here. This is sort of a light duty press. I do need a lot of lubrication on the cases to make sure they don't not too much effort to resize them. Grab some brass, put it on a rag. Once again, I use a Hornady one shot. Give it a couple shots. All right, let's grab a brass. Oil's been sitting on there for a little bit. It is going to require some effort to resize this brass. Heavy duty press does this a lot easier, but it does work. After we're done resizing, depriming and resizing, next up we want to do is flare the brass. Take the old die out, put the flaring die in. You need to flare it since these are straight walled cases, and need a little bit of flare to start the bullet in. Don't want too much flare, just a little bit so you can start the bullet. You can see it right there. Just a little bit of flare at the end right there. That's all you need. If you're using lead bullets, you might want a little bit more flare because the lead has a tendency to shave off. If you're using jacketed bullets like we are, That's enough flare. Okay, for priming, we're using the Lee Load Primall. Stick the primers in here. There, we already did the cases. Real important that the primers are seated to below flush. You should feel that they should just be a slightly below flush. These are being fed into a tubular magazine, stacked on top of each other. You don't want the bullet to ignite the primer and the cartridge in front of it. That's why you need to load a flat point bullet into a tubular magazine rifle. All right, I am weighing my powder charges. We're looking for 52 grains of this powder. Perfect. Let's pour this powder into the case with the powder funnel here. Fills up the case about halfway. Now these Remington bullets I got here, I'll show you the bag here. These are Remington brand 405 grain jacketed soft point bullets. This is what they use in their 4570 loads. This is also what Buffalo Bore uses. One thing I want everyone to notice is that you have these crimp grooves right here. And the crimp groove we're going to use is this one right, the very upmost one there. That's where we are going to be crimping the bullet at. So we want to seat the bullet to right past that little, right to that notch there. So when you're adjusting your seating die, you screw it in, then you take a case without a bullet in it, run it all the way up, then you just screw it down until it'll just stop. That's where the crimping portion is hitting the flared portion. So you'll probably go about a 1 turn or half a turn beyond that. So you put your powder in, put your bullet in it, stick your bullet in it till you get to the right overall length. We need to get that crimp groove right there. Keep checking. Keep screwing it in a little bit till it's right past that crimp groove a little bit. Now we have the right overall length right there. What you want to do now is give this thing about half a turn in. Give it a nice crimp right there. You can see the crimp. Yeah, let me zoom in here better. Yeah, you see the crimp right on the edge right there. That's plenty. You don't have to overdo the crimp. The goal is to keep the bullet from going back in the cartridge, back into the case in a tubular magazine. A heavy recoiling gun, the bullet can be pushed further into the case, which we don't want. That looks good. Let me finish up loading these and let's head to the range. Got another one. $17.92. Got a little bit of recoil. All right, we're back from the range. Quick quick review here. We did shoot at only 25 yards. These are bare loads. I started out with 50 grains of Alliant 1200R powder, CCI large rifle primers, overall length 2.515. That's at the crimp groove of the Remington bullet. 3 shots, 25 yards. They're all touching. They should be. Velocity was an average of 1754. Pretty consistent velocities. That's sort of nice. These bullet hairs we're shooting some 223 also, so they don't apply to here. Next, I upped the load 2 grains, 52 grains of 1200R powder. Once again, the group was a little bit higher. They're all touching. The velocity is a little bit higher, 1790 feet per second. So we gained about 40 feet per second for 2 more grains. You know, I was expecting an over 50 feet per second increase per the Spear reloading manual. I'm only getting 20 or 30 feet, maybe. I do have about another grain and a half. I can increase this load. I'll probably do that and just see if I can get these up over 1800. The Barnes Buster bullet that I use seems to shoot a little bit faster. If I could get those going about 1850, that would be okay. I was really expecting more of an increase. So the Alliant 1200R powder is good. It's not giving me as large of an increase as it says in the manual, but it does give me very consistent velocities. That's nice. So I'll probably continue to use it and experiment with it. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks everyone, and have a nice day.